So, you know about Furina. You've been saving for her, you want the perfect weapon, but you're a free-to-play player or a low spender and you don't plan on pulling on that insidious weapon gotcha anytime soon.
In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Well, there are a couple of options for you. We've covered the best one, which is something that you might not be able to have. This bad boy right here, the Festering Desire. We don't rerun event weapons in Genshin Impact. You can't have this. So what are you going to do if you can't get the best 4-star option for Furina? And we're not covering anything about her kit in this video. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about why these weapons are pretty good for her. If you want to see stuff like that, check out the previous ones. So Furina's weapon selection is actually pretty lacking, which is why the Festering Desire just ranks up there as the best 4-star option, especially after her possible buffs to the amount of energy recharge you actually need for this character. It's still going to exist, and that's why this weapon's still going to be very good, but what else could potentially help you out if you're not a Festering Desire owner? Well, one we'll touch on real quickly if you are a Battle Pass buyer. The Wolf Fang's actually pretty good for a DPS Furina. The elemental skill, if you're in offensive form, is going to be doing a lot of damage. Think Oz, where a bunch of your damage on Fischl is coming from that elemental skill. Same thing with Furina, 30-second uptime, 20-second cooldown. You're gonna have the elemental skill be doing a bunch of off-field damage. This thing has crit rate on it, which is amazing because as an HP scaling unit, Furina doesn't utilize attack percent, and we don't care about lower base attack from 4-star weapons because we're HP scaling. So we're gonna be able to get a lot of crit rate on our Furina build with the Wolf Fang and her Ascension stat scaling of crit rate as well. But we also have the refinement ability, which is going to increase the damage of your elemental skill as well as your elemental burst. And then whenever an elemental skill hits an opponent, you're gonna get a crit rate increase above 2%, and this can actually stack up to 4 stacks. So not only are you getting crit rate from the weapon, crit rate from Furina's Ascension, you're going to be getting increased crit rate on your elemental skill by at R1 8% from this weapon's passive ability. And then on top of that, it also is going to give you damage bonus for your skill as well as your burst. Your burst is also going to get a small amount of crit rate increase here as well, as it does also have the ability to get 2% for every enemy you hit, maxing out to 4 stacks. With that being said, your burst is going to be doing a very small amount of your totality of damage, but you are going to be able to have a very nice crit build if you do pick up the Wolf Fang. And since it's a little blue here, I think they knew what they were doing over at Hoyoverse, because this thing's going to match pretty well. But you're not a Battle Pass buyer, oh my god.
Emotional, damn it!
But I hear you, you're an actual free-to-play. Is there a weapon or did you get clickbaited? No, check it out. If you're new to Fontaine, go over to this new fishing vendor, the Fontaine Fishing Association, and here lies your secret 4-star weapon. Now you are going to have to do a bit of fishing, but you go talk to this NPC and you will see that if you catch some fish, you're going to have a fantastic weapon for Furina. Now this is going to be the Ferryman. I want to say sword because it is a sword, but it's basically a pipe. You just get to go pipes on them right here. This is going to have a lot of energy recharge as the main stat here, which is very similar to something that we talk about with the Festering Desire. In addition to that though, just like the Festering Desire, it's going to give you elemental skill crit rate increase. Very nice. It's a mesh of Festering Desire as well as the new Battle Pass sword we just talked about. We like that as well. And then after you use your elemental skill, you're going to get huge energy recharge here. So not only are you going to have a massive amount of energy recharge on the weapon from the stat, you're going to get additional energy recharge from the refinement ability. And if you go ahead and you fish up some more, you're gonna be able to get an R5 version of the Ferryman sword or pipe, whatever one you want to use to describe it. This is gonna be fantastic. It could be a little bit worse than when Furina's burst tentatively cost 70 energy instead of, I think now it's 60, although I'm not 100% sure on that. My dreams are a little scarce right now when it comes to officially dreaming of what a character's kit does as it constantly changes. It's difficult out there. It's very hard. Make sure you subscribe to this video because of how hard it is for me to dream these things up. Now, this is going to give you a ton of energy recharge though. So if you are going to be using your Furina in some of these teams where she is going to be your only hydro character, you don't plan on having any Favonius weapons on other party members to help facilitate her energy gain, this thing's going to allow you to basically run Furina in whatever sort of team that you want to do. It's going to almost be able to take the energy recharge requirements entirely out of her build. You're going to be able to run in HP percent sands, crit chance, substats, crit damage substats, health percent substats, and not have to worry about finding energy recharge on your artifacts with the tentative buff to her energy recost on her elemental burst, as well as all of the energy recharge you're gonna be getting from the Ferryman. Now, am I the biggest fisher out there? No, I have a Festering Desire. I'm not fishing in Genshin. I'm gonna leave that up to you who, well, didn't start the game right away or gave up right after launch. It's not my fault, but I am here to help you out. Go farm up this sword. You're gonna have to farm up quite a few fishes for it, but you'll be very happy when 4.2 rolls around as a free-to-play player. You have access to maybe the second best 4-star option out there for a Furina build, especially if you want a flexible sword. With that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have fun out there and take care.